I'm a hero, I'm for hire, I'm a seller, I'm a buyer. Conversations with me in my lounge as we scream. You know me, my Morgan, subject boy, follow him. I'm the comic man. I'm the comic man.
Wow, Flash really is the savior of the universe. Hello, true believers. Welcome back to another episode of Comic Conversations, where we interview another comic book collector in the community on Instagram and YouTube. And here I was just reading some Flash Gordon, but actually the headline is, look at the back. That's how they had a lot of cool comics come out that year. All right. Anyway, enough of that junk. I met my next guest on Instagram because he does some pretty cool claim sales. In fact, I probably owe him some money right now, but we'll settle up after. We'll settle up backstage after the show. We won't talk about that on here. But anyway, he's got some good deals. He puts out a lot of content. He's very generous. He gives a lot of giveaways. In fact, I've won, I think, 2 giveaways from it. And all the way from the great state of North Carolina, the home of the nature boy Ric Flair. We have Chris, aka Shags Comics. How you doing, Chris?
Ooh, yeah, Ric Flair, baby. It's awesome. What's going on, man?
Yeah, the nature boy. All right, and they got a hashtag here, guys. But anyway, it's good to see you. We're gonna say hello in the chat. We got Tater's Comics and Collectibles. He said, "Let's go, Shags."
Hey, what's up, man?
Biggie Shack is here. Hey, Biggie Shack, what up, dudes? What's up, Biggie Shack? And Tater says, "What's going on here?" Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I just like we're going to have the hashtag down here. Shags, Chris said he want to do a giveaway tonight. And so he's got 4 pretty cool books. One of them signed by Todd Knock, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Enter hashtag Shags Comics down here to get in the giveaway. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Good to see you, Robert. Robert's a big supporter of the channel. Well, anyway, like what I do here is I don't really like have a list where I don't go like, so when you were 12 years old, nothing like that. So
that's awesome.
Like the only question I do ask to start out with is, when did you get into collecting things? Like, when did you become a hoarder of comic books and toys and collectibles?
The hoarding, well, it's like anything else. We all loved our toys. We all loved them. I know you and I, we love G.I. Joe. I love Transformers. Yeah. I mean, that's probably what really started the collecting. I mean, minus, comic books and stuff. I always tell people not a lot made it through the war that we had with my stuff. Like, my brothers and I, we were just boys. We destroyed everything we touched. There are some, I still do have a few toys that made it through there. But I would say when I really started like focusing and knowing that some of this stuff might be, I don't know, worth something, or at least sentimental to me, was more like I was 15, 16, when it really started clicking like, hey man, I want to kind of save some of this stuff. And when you're watching your Atari, float away in a yard sale, you're like, man, I'd love to have that back now. Man, what happened? But my family was always one of those folks. I mean, we were middle, low class folks, and we just had yard sales all the time, man. And that's where my mom said if it was on the floor, she'd come in every springtime and be like, listen, guys, I'm going to give you a chance. You can clean this up right now. You guys got a couple of days. I'm going to give you like 2 or 3 days. Whatever's left on the floor, it's going to either get pitched or we're selling it. So if we weren't smart enough then, or we weren't proactive enough, then if it was on the floor, mom was cleaning it up, it was gone. So about 15 or 16, that started kicking in me like, whoa. This is like, oh, yeah, I want to start kind of keeping this stuff. I'm going to start stashing this stuff away, and anything that was left, like from the war. I always say the Great War, right? The Great G.I. Joe Transformer War of like 1985, you know what I'm saying, basically.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, where things were burned, blew up, whatever, just it is what it is. But I do still have a couple. So, but from there, it grows, right? And after you get your first job, I remember even my first tax return, right? What did I go out and do for my first tax return? I probably went out and bought a couple of McFarlane figures. I know that for sure. And I bought an acoustic bass So that's what I did with my first tax return, was an acoustic bass and a couple of McFarlane figures, dude. So I mean, that's what we do, you know.
When I got when I was in college, and I had you know, when you can get like student loans and stuff, and all my grant money came in. That's the one first thing I did was like I had to go. I went and bought a Violator statue from McFarlane Toys. Bunch of comic books I wanted, you know, and stuff like that. And like I was always in. Also, I was into like getting the rare VHSs of like kung fu and karate movies of like, you know, Street Fighter and Return Fighter and Hard Boiled and all those Chow Yun Fat movies you couldn't get in regular places. So that, but yeah, I did that too. But like I used to be like, I had a great war. We had a great war. We had the G.I. Joe, Transformers, Mask, and He-Man war. And also the Millennium Falcon may or may not have been involved in that war. And it made World War II look like crap. You know, it looked like a little skirmish, you know. So I know exactly what you mean. Like, and I still have some of the G.I. Joe vehicles, but like I got the Tomahawk, but all the rotors are bent or broken. The landing gears are gone. The canopy's broke, you know. So I'm thinking about piecing them back together and trying to restore it like a 57 Chevy, but
you can do that nowadays.
Yeah, I know. It's what's crazy. Like, well, you know, we got 3D printers too. So you can, even if you can't find the part, you can get a good stand-in for it. But so yeah, I know what you mean. And like, I didn't know what a bag and board was, by the way. Like when I was a kid, the G.I. Joe comics just went in the corner, you know, and like I still have some of my childhood comics. The covers, most of them are like coverless, or the cover's coming off of it, or it's jacked up. So it's just, you know, that's how it is when you're younger, though.
There was not right. And bag and boards. I mean, I didn't even know there was a thing till probably like what 20 years ago. Maybe I knew there was bag and board. Like bag and boards. What are these things? Like, because I know when I was running around to Five and Dime, they were just on the racks. And when we bought them at the Walden bookstore, they weren't in bag and boards. And I didn't have, like, in my little town, there wasn't a comic book shop.
Mine either.
People knew better. You know what I mean? The next comic book shop, you know, was probably in the city of Pittsburgh, really, where I grew up. Like, I grew up about an hour north of Pittsburgh. So up in the freaking mountains, you didn't have a whole lot of comic book stores running around. You know what I mean? So
that's the same here. I'm in Southeast Kentucky in the Appalachian Mountains, and like we got our comics at like the A&P or like the grocery store at A&P and or like the drugstore, the pharmacy, or a 7-Eleven on a rack, on a spinner rack.
Yeah, on spinner racks, and the damn things we probably already had bent corners. You know what I mean? Kids have already been through it, bent them all up or something. You know what I mean? You're just lucky to get a hold of one. So, and like
I didn't get to, like, you know how we're like everybody's like got to pull this and like, hey, I got to go back and fill my run in. No, there wasn't none of that. If you didn't make it to the drugstore to get G.I. Joe issue 48, you were skipping that issue that month. You know what I mean? You're just going to have to wait till the next month to get another issue. And like, I remember no other way. Actually, the first time I ever was like wanting to get a back issue was there was a story in G.I. Joe where Zartan infiltrated the pit, and he took Rick Ford's identity, but I didn't know what happened in between two issues. I begged my mom until she ordered. You know how you had the ads for Mile High Comics? You could order back issues. I begged her to order a back issue for me. So that's the only time I ever did that. But like, I just wanted to know what happened in between.
That's the only thing you could have done, though. That's what I'm saying. Back then, that's all you could do, right? You just couldn't go out and pop out and buy last month's issue that easy. I couldn't. So,
Marvel Designs. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't really consider. I mean, would you consider us collectors at that age? Because like you're really just like whatever comes out.
Yeah, no, you're just getting whatever. Yeah, you're just getting whatever, and then. It's like anything else. As the years go by, is it really worth something to somebody? Right. Yeah. So when you're back playing with them and destroying them, they were just toys. That thought never went through my head. Right. Until like you're 15 or 16, at least me. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, something. I'm going to keep a hold of some of this stuff. Like I did a bunch of like back in the day, too, the starting lineup figures. You know, the old baseball figure and football figures and stuff like that. I had a bunch of those, too. So as I got older, I still have some of those floating around. And I have some of my old X-Men figures from, Toy Biz and all that kind of stuff, that actually made it past a point. So I have those, but what you're not thinking about it as a collector. You were just thinking as if these are mine. You know what I mean? I want these. I don't want them to go anywhere. I don't want her to throw them out. These are mine. I'll take them, you know, and then later on, 15, 20 years down the line, it's like, oh my, you mean this beat up old Snake Eyes I have is actually worth something? Oh wow, you know, that's from
I
there.
lost a lot of the action figures, but I've got some back. I bought, you know, I had a friend that like sent me some, and then I don't know, I'm getting too obsessed with these classifieds because
Right.
I don't know. I just love them though, but they have a new one. It's like everybody's complaining about it because it's the new Deathstroke with the spoiler with the gold costume, you know, when he was in the Iron Grenadiers. Oh man, they're charging $109 for that. And everybody's like, I was like, yeah, but you're going to get it just like I did. I called my LCS and was like, hey, I know you order classifieds. Can you order this for me? He said, don't worry, I already ordered one for you because he knew I was going to ask him for it, right? So, but like,
those classifieds are nice though. Those classifieds are nice, man, as they get, you know, more articulation and more detail and stuff. I like those. They are nice.
Yeah, I just wish the HasLab stuff didn't cost so much because I was like, I remember when they did that crowdfunded like Rattler. I'm like, oh, I want one of those. It's like $500 or something. I can't remember exactly, but I was like, I don't know. Maybe I could rob a bank. Maybe I don't know, but I don't know.
That's a lot of money, right? For collectors, you know. Yeah.
It's just a joke. I always say that, like, well, maybe if I win the lottery, there will be signs because my room will look like a museum. So,
no,
it'll be like, Matt, how did you get comics #1 behind you? Oh, that old thing? Oh, it's nothing.
No, don't look at that.
Yeah. Although if I had Action Comics #1, it would be in a safe deposit box probably.
Or sitting up or sitting out, one or the other. It's got to be sitting out or somewhere you can get to it. That's what I say. I mean, it's tough to have them and just put away that you got to go visit it and everything. You know, I mean,
I agree. I don't know if I could do that. Like, I feel like I'll be like Indiana Jones. This belongs in a museum. This belongs in a collection.
Yeah. My collective.
Yeah. So when did you start doing like the Instagram thing?
Well, I mean, it was probably around COVID time. I keep on getting the updates from Instagram here about, oh, congratulations, you've been on here, you know, however many weeks. You know what I mean? And I think I've been on here like 5.5 years now doing this stuff, just having fun, right? So that's what we're doing. I mean, that's all I'm doing. I try to collect a little bit here and there and just having fun doing it, getting a book or two, trying to, you know, complete an X-Men run or whatever, but just being on Instagram, hanging out with you guys here, watching folks learning things, right? I feel like I learn a ton on here, so.
I like what Tater's comics, he's like, I feel like even at my age that yes, I collect, but I also like to open things. Some of the newer packages are just plain looking, and I could care less. It's mine, and I can do what I want to. Yeah, I think they have to breathe. Like, look, I wasn't going to keep this sound wave blocky in a box. It's got to get out and breathe, right?
Yes.
I
like the blockies too. Those blockies are cool.
My LCS actually gave it to me because, well, it might have been because I spent $300 that day. But he's like, you know what? You can just have it because I bought like that. We probably saw a post it for Figgy Friday. I got the Punisher and Nick Fury 2-pack, the Game Reverse one where it's like Nick Fury versus Frank Castle. So Marvel Designs, he says you can find a lot of newer figures cheaper nowadays at Ross or DD's discount. Yeah, Ollie's too. Like some of them, like the ones like, but usually it's the ones that didn't sell though. Like I remember getting a bunch of Black Panther stuff at Ollie's. I don't know if you ever been to Ollie's. They have Ollie's in North Carolina. So yeah. But you can find some like my buddy bought a Captain America omnibus at Ollie's for like $25.
Yes.
So I mean you can't really beat that.
No, I always say they're a couple years old, maybe the books, but I mean you can't beat it. I got what was it, the X Lives of Wolverine and the Deaths of Wolverine? Dude, I picked that up for like $10 in your day. So
yeah, definitely you could do that. And like also a little trick for anybody that if you're worried about losing out on a pre-order like Hasbro Pulse, when you pre-order, they do not charge your card until it's getting released, and they send you a alert a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a good little thing if you want to, but like I try to avoid the scalping thing. You know what I mean? Because like there was a Superman figure I wanted, and it sold out on McFarlane.com. And I'm like, I'm not paying $70 for this. I'm sorry, I'm not paying $70 for it. I just refuse. Like, yeah, we know how it goes with some of that. Like,
Sure.
hey, it used to be like Funkos, although I think a lot of that stuff's models kind of fell out of the Funko Pop thing, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yep.
They're not.
Now, don't get me wrong. I like Funko, and I'll grab some of my favorites. You know what I mean? But
me too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just but yeah, I kind of started a little late. Like, I mean, I guess it was like at the tail end of COVID when I started my channel on YouTube. I was going on Facebook, but I discovered there's a lot of haters on Facebook. I don't know what it is about like, I remember like this when I was first getting back into it, and I didn't really know a lot about like okay, this is the first appearance of this character or whatever. Like I knew a little bit. I knew enough to get in trouble. I still do. Like I got Avengers Annual number 10. This is an example. And I was like, I just typed what it said on the label in the description of my post in this comic book group. I was like, first appearance of Rogue, first cover appearance of I think Mystique, and the first appearance of Maddie Pryor or Madeline Pryor, which is a different Madeline Pryor. I know you're an X-Men fan, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's a Maddie Pryor. I just typed what it said. It said Madeline Pryor because CDC, you know how it goes. Yeah. And they're like, no, actually, that's not right. You shouldn't type that on there. I jumped onto him. I said, dude, I just typed what it said on the label. He said, well, the label's wrong. So that kind of put me off. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make my own group. So I made my own Facebook group and said, forget these people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. Like I said, everybody's a know-it-all sometimes, man. You just can't have fun. You know what I mean? So not everybody's perfect. Not everybody's going to know everything. Dude, information go one ear and out the other. So it's what it is.
It's like sometimes I think some of these older collectors can get kind of crabby with people that are just starting back out, or, you know, and like, I think we should just be like, try to tell them what we know and like spread the love. You know what I mean? Like just spread. I don't know. That's what I like about what you do on Instagram. Man. You kind of give back. And
just about fun. This is what it's about.
Exactly. And like, I don't know, when did you decide to start like doing like claim sales and stuff on Instagram?
Well, and basically around the same time. I mean, I got on there and I started watching some folks and whatnot, and I had a couple of boxes around here being like, well, I mean, I could jump on here and sell a little bit too. I mean, why not? You know what I mean? I got some comics, you know? So that's really what it comes down to, right? If I have something out here that I necessarily don't need in my collection anymore, I'll throw it out and throw it up. And if I'm trying to, like now, trying to save a little bit of money, trying to go after that X-Men one, you know what I mean? I'm trying just to pick apart my X-Men list here as I go. So just, you know, whenever I have things that I can throw up for sale, whatnot, but just watching folks and being like, I could do this too. You know what I mean? Everybody can sell a book. It's like anything else. If you've got a book somebody wants, it will sell, you know? So
that's true. You just got to find the right person that wants it. I used to sell a whatnot, but I got tired of like going out and buying things. Every now and then I'll sell stuff, but like if I have something I enjoy and maybe I don't enjoy it no more, I'll try to sell it, you know?
Right.
But
it's time to go to somebody else's hands, right? Somebody else can go and enjoy it, right?
Well, you get another life with somebody else. Like what happened to me is, I'll tell you, is my uncle, he passed away, and he had a whole collection, but he didn't collect like DC and Marvel. He collected like specific things like Bernie Wright's and stuff, and like Dave Stevens, and like, you know, like, or Wally Wood's, like some of his independent comics. He was like kind of off the wall, kind of like fantasy stuff, and like, well, not off the wall, very cool. Like, I don't, you know who Richard Corbin, he like stuff like that, Heavy Metal Magazine.
Yes.
And he had all the box sets of the hardcovers of EC Comics, like every series. That's and cool. My mom's like, I don't want this stuff in my basement no more. And she got me back into it. She's like, you got to sell this stuff for me. I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't really, and because I read like digitally online and stuff, and like I'd had my collection stolen, like that I had like almost all the Spawn run and all of ASM McFarlane and Larson and Bagley, and it got stolen. So I was like, I quit.
Yeah.
So I would get like a trade paperback or read online, and that's how I got back into doing that. And I sold them for a while, but then now I just like they're all mine. I don't want to sell them, so I don't know. I got all that.
There's a fine line between the collector seller, right? That's why I say it's tough. I do
You ever
like
do
all
that?
these. Right?
Yeah, like you'll sell something and be like, man, I wish I hadn't sold that.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. I don't know, but
find another one. Yeah.
it's all right. It'll come back to you eventually, right? It always comes back around.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Jeff, my buddy Jeff. How you doing, Jeff? It's good to see you. Here's the hashtag, Jeff. If you want to enter the giveaway, it's hashtag Shags Comics. Everybody, if you want to enter it. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm trying to think what I was going to say. So, what other kind of toys did you like as a kid? I know we both like G.I. Joe, like the Transformers you mentioned.
Yep, all that stuff. Like I said, and that was the two biggest ones for me, right? And then as I got older, then like I said, going into the Spawn. So Spawn started picking up once we get a little bit older there. It's probably 15, 16. That's when I got some of the first ones back in those 96, 95 era.
You're going to get rich off of them, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, and even then, but I was just buying them then. Even I'm looking around for a couple as I sit here. But I mean, I was even buying them then because we were Spawn fans. It wasn't anything that you were gonna flip or you didn't think about selling to somebody 10 years down the line. You know what I mean? It's just something you got. Like I said, I always have my gunslinger's always right here too. Now he wasn't one of the first, but this is one of the bigger ones.
Ooh.
Right. So I mean, he's always here. He's just always hanging out of the box. Now, this is one of the ones, again, you didn't know, but I bought the Gunslinger because why? Because the Gunslinger is awesome, right? And I took him out of the box because the Gunslinger is awesome and he was mine. But now as I sit here 20 years later, I wish the hell I would have bought two of them. You know what I mean? Can you go back in time? No, you're going to go back in time. You're just going to enjoy the one you have, right? Okay, so I get offered all the time. He's always sitting out and people always offer up. And I'm like, no, he sticks with me for a while yet, so.
No, that's awesome though. Like I love, like I think Gunslinger is like almost cooler than Spawn.
Well, I mean, some of the offshoots, right? Especially back then, dude. I mean, it's
Yeah, out of the box.
Gunslinger was cool when it first came out. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, well, I mean, I didn't really think about that either. I know that there were some older collectors we're about the same age, so. Like some older collectors, like I'm going to buy all these Deaths of Superman, and one day it's going to be worth thousands of dollars. Little did they know, I guess. But no, I remember the Spawn was just like I knew who Todd McFarlane was, but like I used to not be aware of artists. I just knew that this was cool. But like later on, I realized he was the one that drew Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man, and then that's when I started reading Spider-Man. And then when I heard that, him and all those guys were going to make their own company, I said, ooh, I got to get in on this. So, and like, I love that. You remember the cartoon? That Spawn animated series was awesome.
Yep.
I used to watch that all the time. Even
that was awesome. That and Max kind of on the same time.
Yeah, Max. And all that stuff came out like about that time. And I remember even like, I was a little bit old for Saturday morning cartoons, but I ain't going to lie, I still watch them. Like the Spider-Man series. In the 90s, I was in high school when that came out, and I still watched it. So, no shame for me. I watched it. That and the X-Men,
sure,
and Wildcats. I remember Wildcats. They had a cartoon for Wildcats. So, but yeah, you can't keep that in the box, though. By the way, that Gunslinger, it looks better out of the box, obviously. Mm-hmm. And besides, what I tell people? When you get those old packages, like if you keep them in those boxes, it's going to turn yellow.
Right.
I had a buddy that had some of those Spawn figures, and they're like the box was yellow. I said, you might as well just take them out now.
Yep.
And you remember the movie Maniac ones? I used to love those too. Like Michael Myers, and they had all those, and like some of those are working.
Yeah, Jason floating around here. Yep. Movie Maniacs. I got a couple of those.
Yeah, I got a NECA Jason Voorhees, but that's the only one I've actually kept in the box because the last time I had a NECA figure, I broke the arm getting it out of the box.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, they're kind of brutal.
Yeah, find that damn receipt, take that back right away. Be like, nope, don't want this thing.
I don't know. I just thought they were kind of like I heard somebody else say that. I interviewed a guy that has a YouTube channel. His name's Destro's a Spirit Animal, and he's like, some of those NECAs. He goes, he said, I'll let my kids play with my classifieds, but I will not let them touch them because they will break like nobody's business.
There
They
you
are
go.
great figures though, but they are brittle, Jeff. Like I want to get the RoboCop one because I love RoboCop. But we got Taylor says I still have my Spawn pigs still in the box, and I can't bring myself to open them.
Yeah, it's tough.
I love
Yeah.
it when I have one of Ozzy's holding the pops where he's holding the cross up, and it's got like this like stained glass window behind him. Yeah, they had one. I know you're a musician too. They really had like on Jimi Hendrix where he's like set his guitar on fire and he's going like this. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool. So
There's some ones I wish I did get. Yeah, I didn't get them.
So you played do you play with anybody in a band or anything? Or just
yeah. We man, I've been in a quote unquote band for about 20 plus years now. That we really, and again, same kind of thing. It's for fun, right?
Yeah.
A bunch of guys get together basically every Thursday for 20 years now, and we sit around and jam and have a good time. Recorded some stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, I've been playing bass since same kind of time, probably about 15 or 16. I've been playing bass. So just like to play some music and hang out, man. Yeah. So we're trying to debate now here. I know my one buddy here, the guitar player, he been talking about wanting to play out and do some live gigs and stuff like that here soon. But we always laugh and joke around. Is like I wasn't really built for being a rock star. I guess if I was going to do that, I would have done that when I was 18 years old. But it's basically for fun. We like to jam around. So one day you might see us here rocking out on stage. But
do you like all kinds of music, or is there a certain type of music? Yeah,
all kinds. Yeah, all kinds, man. If we have all kinds of stuff recorded, I go anything from, the folky metal to alternative to country-ish metal. It's all revolved around like a metal alternative twang to it. You know what I mean?
I kind of like that too. I'm kind of like I probably get on some people's nerves because I can listen to Chris Stapleton and then turn around and listen to like Iron Maiden, or like Tool, or something like that.
Like it all.
And maybe like Cyndi Lauper. Like I'm not going to lie, yesterday I was listening to Caribbean Queen by Billy Ocean. So
sure. Billy Ocean's awesome. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's growing up music right there. Billy Ocean, baby. MTV days.
I don't know. I kind of still like some of that music, like I really got into like in my 20s. I really got into stuff like Violent Femmes and some of those bands, and like I really love David Bowie. I always liked David Bowie a lot.
Sure.
Was it last year? I did not know this, but on the song "Fame," the bass guitar is being played by John Lennon.
No.
So that's pretty cool. John Lennon just showed up in the studio and said, "I'll play bass on this." Like, that's pretty good. That's pretty impressive to me that you get John Lennon to show up and just play bass for you. So, but
I heard you down the way being like, "Hey, man, can I play?"
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I kind of grew up in the era, and I'm assuming you did too. Like, I kind of cut my teeth on like 80s metal, and then but then Nirvana came out.
Oh yeah,
because I remember they actually just had the anniversary of Kurt Cobain's death, actually, but and actually Lane Staley. But so I remember when that came out, it kind of changed everything, and then all the kids started going to the thrift shops and buying flannel shirts, But like, me and my friend Jeff were talking about this the other day. Like in '91, in like was it a 5-month period? The Black Album came out, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, Nevermind, and 10 by Pearl Jam, and I think Bad Motorfinger from Soundgarden came out in the same 5-month period or something.
Wow.
So that was look at Jeff says he's an '80s kid. And go from Tears for Fears to Dr. Dre to Slayer to Christopher Cross to Johnny Cash.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
It was a 44-day period. That's even more impressive. Okay, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, hey, Christopher Cross. Don't be sleeping on Christopher Cross. That song "Ride Like the Wind" is amazing.
Yeah.
Jam that right now. Actually, if I didn't think we'd get copyright, we would play some music, but we can't really do that on here,
Yeah,
so,
very cool.
I like the ones though. Like I'm on Instagram and I'll post a reel, and I'll make it like a little video, and I'll have music in the background or something, say AC/DC or something, and it'll be like, this song is muted in like Russia, Indonesia, Like, I don't care if they can hear it or not. I'm still putting it on.
Right. Yeah, we're playing it. We're gonna try.
I don't care. I really don't care. So you also collect cards too, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of with everything else. I mean, I collect. It's terrible because I really do am a collector of basically everything. The cards are the same thing. I mean, that was another collecting bit. When you're 10, 11, 12, I like Topps cards, baseball cards, and all that. It was a little bit different back in those days. I know, like in town, I mean, you could go to the 7-Eleven or something, and I know there was a Sheets that finally popped up in town there, and you could go and get cards there. There was a candy store in town. There was like a big warehouse that you could go in and you actually buy boxes of cards. That was the first time I ever learned that you could buy boxes of cards. This is back in 80 whatever, 87, 88, probably whatever. And back then it just was there wasn't as many distinguishing of the tiers of people, like the haves and the have-nots. You know what I mean? And as the older we get, I feel like that line is dividing even more between us because, like, we can't just go out to Target and buy a random box for $40 and hope that there's going to be a big card in there, right? When you see all these retailers buy their hobby boxes and get in on all these cases and all these guys on Whatnot and everything, and they pull all these one-of-one cards and whatnot. Well, sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you get into hobby boxes. So I've got a couple hobby boxes here throughout and I've hit a couple big cards. But for the most part, it's same thing. It's really just having fun and trying to rip some cards that you may or may not, get or like. So, yeah. But as I sit here and I get older and you learn about the have and have-nots more and how Target just pumps out a bunch of these boxes that out of 1,000 of those boxes, you may get one of card. You know what I mean? But in these hobby boxes that you pay $400 for across the way at a card shop, you know what I mean? You might actually be able to get something out of that, which is a little bit ridiculous when those people are getting those boxes for $200. So I want to support and I want to help people. That's the thing, right? Like, I always want to help and support. It's kind of what I try to want to do here. But I don't want to have to support people that are just like gouging for every cent that they can get.
Oh yeah.
So that's what, right.
Yeah.
It's right. It's tough. And it's scalping or otherwise, just even retailers, you know what I mean? The retailers can go in and get a hold of these cards for dirt cheap, but then want to double or triple the value on you. And I get it. But I just don't want to play that game. So I like cards and I like collecting them, but
well, like I saw a video once of this guy at like Target, right? And he's buying all the Pokemon packs as soon as they got on the shelf. An adult.
Yeah.
And this one guy's videotaping him and he's like, "Aren't you going to leave me for the kids?" That guy looked straight at him without hesitation and said, "F them kids."
Just the same guy was bending the packs. I think I saw something. Yeah. Or I saw a guy, it was a YouTube video where he's sitting in there and he's just like bending all the packs and everything. And they were like, dude, these kids are freaking buying these packs. And he was like, this isn't a kid's game no more.
Yeah.
That's what the guy said. It really is not. It really isn't a kid's game. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're going to go in there and buy Lucana cards or Lacana and you're buying Magic cards and still paying a top price for those kids ain't paying those damn prices. Your mom and dad are paying those prices. Now, some of these kids, once they get a job and realize how much some of these are worth, or how much packs, and they might decide whether they want to play Magic or not anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fine line of what you can and can't do.
Well, it's like, my buddy here, Jeff, he just gifted 5 channel memberships. And when somebody does that or gives a super chat, I play a video. So we're going to play a video for Jeff. Yeah. And then we'll move on. Let's see which one we should play. I know what I'm going to play. One of my all-time favorite clips.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
I love it. Love that friggin' movie. Carl's
he
awesome.
yeah, I know. I hate that he passed away.
Yeah.
It's Kmart. They bought Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. When I was like, oh, that's cool. We remember the blue light special at Kmart.
Oh yeah.
They keep them behind they keep them on the counter. And he says in Northern California, those collector cards.
They have to.
And Biggie versus KFC says, is there any better snack than beef jerky when reading comics? I don't know. I kind of like some. Well, I can tell you something not to eat. Don't eat Cheetos while you're reading comic books unless you want Cheeto stains on them. I don't know.
It's not good one.
Yeah,
Cheeto's not good.
That probably needs to be. Yeah, it probably needs to be. Yeah, it sucks though. Because the kids that want them, they can't get them. Like,
Right. Oh, you can go.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, Biggie verse, if it's light tan or not, you're still getting it. You know, that's what I say. Sorry, Shag, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Yeah, excited to get that Hulk 5. I would be too. What's up, Dale?
Hey, Dale. I see Dale a lot. He's a good member of the community. Doritos and ice cream stick. There you go. That's more like a what do you call it? I used to like the drumsticks, but I don't know if they make those out of ice cream anymore, to be honest with you.
right.
Like I saw a guy do a video and he's like, the Cheeto does the CDC grading his top tier. Yeah.
They don't even they love it. They don't even count that as a deduction.
No, probably not. They're just like, oh, that's all right. This adds a little character. Look, it's like the date stamp on those Silver Age books.
Yep.
You know?
The color rubs.
I will tell you something I did when I first started collecting again. I was reading a comic, and I think it was like a Nakayama cover. You know how he has all the solid colors on it. And my hand started perspiring, and it stuck to it. I felt my fingers stick to the book, and it rubbed the color right off the cover. So
it's half your fingerprint probably in it too.
Yeah. You missed a lot. We'll start over here. I'll ask you, when did you start? I'm just kidding. I like Carolina barbecue. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty darn good. I'm sure Chris knows all about that. He lives in North Carolina. So how long you been
barbecue, baby?
How long you been in North Carolina? I know.
Over half my life now. I moved down here when I was 19 years old. I'm 50 now, so been down here a long time. 30 years going on now, I guess.
Cool.
But it's not bad. I like it down here. That's why I moved. I moved away from just snow and poverty, basically. So
I lived in Winston-Salem for like 6 months one time, but I got homesick and moved back. So
yeah.
But I like it down there. I really like Charlotte. It's actually a fun place. I mean, I didn't really see a lot of the city. We went to a couple of restaurants, but like I was mainly focused on the trip from the Westin to the convention center, you know. So, but like,
you don't have to go very far for Heroes. You're just right there in that little block. You don't have to go far.
I know. It's and there's a lot of stuff around there. There's like a Whole Foods. You could go in there and eat.
Oh yeah.
And then there's what is there? I can't remember the name of this place. My friend Glenn went there. They stayed in an Airbnb, and he's like, there was some kind of like breakfast joint, and he said they had like all these like awesome breakfasts. They went there every morning. I just ate the way they got like an amazing breakfast bar. So.
Right. Yeah. No, we just ate at the hotel, but that's good question. Because I'd like to know.
Yeah, maybe I'll find it out. You need to do barbecue at Heroes Con. Yeah, hell yeah. Maybe I can meet up with you guys. I'm going. We might be able.
That's it, man. We'll be there. Like we have 2 tables.
Actually, my friend Jeff here is going with me, so maybe you can show us around. We're both barbecue lovers.
All right. We'll find some because, like I said, I know there's places around, and like I said, we're going to be down there at Heroes Con. We'll be in Artist Alley, so you can't miss us. We're going to have 2 tables, right?
Yeah,
and we're going to be hanging out with Comics. He keeps popping up here with his Project Savior. So if you guys need to check him out, if you haven't already. And then we'll be hanging out, too, with Jesse from Robo, which I'm having another April giveaway for him to try to, get awareness about his book, right? Because that's what we're trying to do, too, is, Robo. That's Jesse.
There you go.
So
do you have a link or something you could
I don't have one right this second. I
Okay.
know that I have Jesse's link somewhere. I don't have it right this second, but I know I have it somewhere. I know that on my post on Instagram, you'll see most of the time. We're gonna be there. I don't know exactly where yet. They don't tell us here till about a month of what tables and everything we're gonna be at, but you won't be able to miss us, and you'll be plenty advised on where to find us and where to meet up. So.
Well, I'll stop by and say hi to you. I'm really excited this year to come back. And it's I think it's like if you're just a comic book lover, it's the convention to go to. I know I've heard this about Baltimore too, but like the Heroes Con though, I've never been somewhere you can spend I sit there and talk to Dan Parent last year for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And he was really cool about it. Like they seem like more open. Like I remember Jenny Priz and her husband were really nice. And they're coming. I was excited to see they're coming back. But yeah, what you're saying about them not announcing, like I noticed where they listed all the guest list so far, it's just TBD. They don't have to tell you what table they're going to be at yet. But I'm assuming some of the people, like the bigger ones, will be in the same place probably. And a lot of I know they had Daniel Warren Johnson last year. If you remember, he was near the CGC submission booth.
Yep, him and Dragata. Yep.
Yeah. Actually, I'm thinking about showing up there Friday morning and just camping out there before his mind gets crazy because he's my favorite.
Probably need to, man, because I know we're talking about it too. So
he's my favorite artist. Tater said, "Imagine if you never moved down here, you wouldn't have met your favorite Tater."
No, I know, right? It happens. It does happen. But we'll be hanging out. Taters will be there too, running around. We'll all be down there. Like I said, S. with his Project Savior. I do have one of his fancy boxes here that he sent me with all of his books. So Project Savior, you guys can all go follow S. Comics on Instagram as well. I know that he's having plenty of things for Heroes Con. I know he's talking about printing out 3D eggs with prizes in them. You buy an egg. There's like gold tiers and silver tier winners to win slabs and books and things like that from his run. So it's basically the same thing when I go to Heroes Con. I'm trying to have fun. Last year, I gave a bunch of stuff away between books and, like you said about cards. Half the cards that I get nowadays, like this one here, is from the, that Deadpool Chrome that I just opened up. These are just giveaways. Half of these are just giveaways for me. I like giving these things away. I will put a card in there telling you where I'm at and where you can find me to where you can win books and stuff. So it's just more of just trying to create, fun and atmosphere of people want to hang out and come see you. You know what I mean? So
I don't know if you want to answer this, but I just want to show the question. Says, yeah, so what part of North Carolina? I live in Darlington, South Carolina.
Oh, we're in Raleigh. I'm close to Raleigh. So
okay.
Yep, and again, I got buddies here that the Ultimate Comics basically is one of the LCSs. I got Yellowbirds Comics, which is in Fuquay, Verena. So I was saying before, I'm pretty lucky that I have 3 pretty decent comic shops in close to Raleigh vicinity that I can usually hit up in without about an hour time of each other. So I'm pretty fortunate.
Well, you tell Tater he's going to have to buy me some barbecue too now that he showed up on my show. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, Biggies is freaking buying for everybody, believe me.
Yeah, Biggie says, how many slabs constitutes a collection?
2.
I would say 10. What do you think, Shags?
2. I mean, well, you got 2. You got more than most. I mean, two. You're starting to collect. You know what I mean?
And I'm glad Pop's Attic. Pops is dad of a good friend of mine on YouTube here at Legion of Comics, and Pops is a friend of mine too. Good guy. Met him last year at Heroes Con. He said this is a good question because I was going to ask you about this race. He said I should soup up my scooter, my power chair, and get in that race.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about
scooter race, baby. So the scooter race, well, again, so it's funny. I've been trying to keep it on the down low here for a little bit too, right? Because it's not so much sanctioned as it is fun, right? So last year, as we were riding around, and it was me and S. out running around there, we just left the Westin from a few drinks there, and we've seen Claremont leave and whatnot. So yeah, the wife just come walking back here. So I jumped on scooters and we started ripping around town there a little bit. And I was like, man, this would be fun to actually get like a little race together here. I mean, look, there was nobody out here. It was like, I don't know, after midnight, it was like 1 a.m. probably. There was nobody out, you know, we're still awake. We're still running. We're having fun, right? This is like a Saturday. We're like, let's, next year, maybe we should think about having, a scooter race or whatever. So as we get closer, I keep telling people, this is what I want to do. All right. So I know I'm going to be there. I know that I'm going to be awake. I know that I'll be running around. Now, whether or not did you want to race me in a scooter or not, come on down. So I was posting things throughout about this scooter race. Now, the wife basically is like, listen, you can't be doing this all the time because you might be liable for some of this stuff. Now, I'm saying come and race. It's your own freaking, free will. Whether or not you get hit by a bus, that's on you. Because most of the time because I was sitting here last year looking at the place. Now, if you're there and you're hanging out at a Hall of Fame, there's a big sidewalk that goes all the way around the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So there's no need to get on the road for anything. There's no, God forbid, you know what I mean? Things happen, but we want to have some fun. Now I'm going to be out there Saturday, Sunday morning, floating around about midnight, 1 o'clock. All right. June 13th or whenever that is. And, yeah, so you'll hear more about that, but I definitely just want to have fun. We're trying to have a scooter race. I want to have some giveaways even for that, right? If you can beat me in the scooter race, then I'm going to have some fun things probably coming from Heroes Con. It's probably going to be, signed books. There's probably a slab in there somewhere that I'll give away. So if you're around.
We're going to try to catch up on the chat here. He goes, when you guys go to Heroes, you guys need to go to Galactus Comics in Florence, South Carolina.
No.
All right. Taylor's talking about the Heroes are already stacked with more announcements. Yeah, it's already stacked. And like a lot of the people that were there last year are returning. Of course, Scotty's going to be there. Scotty's always there, though, right?
Same spot, too. Same spot.
Yeah. Claremont's going to be back. I'm going to go meet him again. He was a really nice guy. I liked him. Jenny Prison, who I got like several books I want her to sign. And Dragata's coming back, which I'm afraid to go in that line, Chris, because I know it's going to be kind of crazy this year because everybody's caught absolute Batman fever. I mean, it was hot last year, but like the level of where it's at now is just insane. So yeah, it's still going up. I mean, honestly, and like, so I don't know if I'm going to, but like, I know that I'm also excited that Jeff DeCall is going to be there. Dan Parent's coming back. Jim Rugg will be there. Greg Land, I guess he's always. They haven't said Adam Hughes, but I have a feeling he'll be back.
Yeah, there's a few people they haven't announced yet. There's still a few. I know there will release a bunch more names, but all those people you just mentioned, yeah. Yeah, but I'm already over here digging out books. I've got a freaking stack of books. They've got a debate on whether or not to take. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
It's Comics says I'll have slab cars for giveaway this year. Sitting. Oh, cool.
Nice.
He Immortal Biggie Rack said, I love the mac and cheese at Pool's Diner in Raleigh.
Pool's Diner.
You better get the race done before the police get.
Like I said, it's only going to be one lap. It won't take long. You'll see.
Well, Taylor said that's why the prizes have to make the possible trip to jail worth it.
Yeah. Nobody's going to care. Nobody cares. I said, it'll be fun.
You're awake. You're a soapbox racing legend out of weight. Okay.
It might be.
Be there. We got a ringer in the chat. Uh-oh. He said, also, you got to be careful not to catch a DUI if the scooter is motorized, if you've been boozing.
It might be. You got to watch. You got to watch.
Yeah, Jeff is a retired law enforcement, so
right. You got to watch. You got to watch. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Got to be smart.
Hashtag Shags disclaimer.
Yeah. Shags is right. Back to that. We'll be there, bud. Like I said.
It's not said him and Jeff DeCal are going to have words. Uh-oh. This sounds ominous.
So Jeff's a good guy. It just depends on when you see him, right? It's like anybody else. Like I said, most people are good folks, right? They're there. They should be there for a reason. They should be, more jovial. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
sometimes just people aren't so inviting. You know what I mean? Sitting at your table,
Well, I've
it's a
been told,
little.
like, I had a friend that asked him for a remark, and he was like, "I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
So I don't know. But like, I'm going to go. My plan is like, I chase a lot of signatures. I'm going to try to get some signatures this year. But I'll ask you this too in a minute. But what I want to ask you, here's my idea. I just got the blind bags came out for Daredevil, which kind of on the nose, a blind bag for Daredevil. So of course Daredevil's blind, but you know what? They missed the boat by not having a Braille variant. They should have had a variant in Braille. But anyway, what I was going to say was I pulled a blank out of the blind bag. I only bought one blind bag because I kind of got burnt on these Mark Spears Halloween ones. I got like 5 duplicates of every like face cover. So I kind of was like, I'm only going to get 1 or 2. So I only got one Daredevil for my LCS, and I ordered one from my comic shop, which will be here in a couple of weeks. But when I opened it up, I got the blank. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do with this? Klaus Jansen's coming back, and he's not getting any younger. He's like 81 years old. And he's going to be at Heroes Con. And I saw that his remarks are like $100 and something. So I'm like, I'm just going to get him to do a remark on it. Maybe I should get like, I don't know if he'll do it big enough for the whole thing, but just to have him do something on it. I can't afford, obviously, a $500 commission from the man. Right. I wish I could.
Right.
But if he doesn't do it big, I could maybe get 4 different artists to do like a mashup kind of thing on it. So I don't know. That's my idea this year, is just to have some original art. And I just contacted Dan Parent, and I'm going to try to get him to draw Veronica as if she was Elektra from Daredevil. So
that's cool, man.
I'm a big Daredevil guy. So
yeah. That's cool. Yeah. And like I said, with all these guys, they're not getting younger, like you said.
He was like, he was rude, and I was looking to pay him to do a cover for my comic. Yeah. Well, you know what? Some of these guys, like Jim Starlin, can kind of be curmudgeon-y from what I've heard. I've heard Jim Starlin can kind of be like somebody I knew, a friend of mine, like said something to him he didn't like. So when he gave him his Thanos book, he signed it right over Thanos' face. So I think who was nice was I know he gets a lot of hell sometimes for his art these days, but like John Romita Jr. He actually came around, him and actually Claremont did too. They walked around the table and let me take a picture with them.
Yeah.
Which That's is cool. Like, you guys didn't have to do that, but I love that kind of thing. And like, I kind of want to meet some of these, like we're talking about the older artists, like, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez will be there. And, what's his name? Pat Broderick.
Yeah.
I want to see some of the guys. I like JR too. Like he signed my Uncanny X-Men 25th anniversary cover. And nice. Also I was excited that Walt Simonson's going to be there. So you got me talking about Heroes Con. I'm just super excited.
We all are, bro. I love it.
And I was like, I got to go back.
Sure. No, it's great. Like I said before, we've said about it. It's a great con to where it just focuses on creators. And there's nothing of the fluff of the movies or anything, which again, I love movies. That's great. But I just like the fact, and like you said too, like Baltimore, it's more focused on comic books and creators and things. And that's what I like about it.
It's not, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. If I'll see you guys at your table and you can't leave, and I'm going somewhere you need something signed, if I'm going anyway, I might do it for you. I'm good at that kind of thing. I'm cool with that.
Love it. When I did, we just talk about cards. You see my card? I keep on showing off. We talk about cards. This is the 1-in-1 sketch card from Dawn to Win that I ripped out the other day on my Instagram page.
Oh, that's dope, man.
So that's when we talk about 1-of-1 cards. I lucked into the lottery. A buddy of mine was like, hey, man, I know you cry all the time about how Target boxes suck. So you might as well get into this lottery and see if you can win any boxes. And so I did. And one of the boxes I won, wouldn't you know, I got lucky enough to pull an actual 1-of-1 art sketch.
That's amazing. And
that's fun.
That's what it's all. That's what you want to get. Like, I like you were talking those cards. Like I looked into that and I was like, I just don't want to pay $400. I like, and I kind of like. I don't know about you, but like, I kind of like the upper deck designs better than these tops so far. I don't know what you feel about that. What do you think
The
about
upper
that?
decks are terrible. I like the Spider-Man ones. Do you see the one? I know the older Spider-Man. These ones here. I do like the Spider-Man upper deck.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's
So, I
nice.
mean, as far as just I like the whole, the colors on them.
Yeah,
I got the foil to using everybody's, artwork. I mean, that's a Campbell right there. That just so yeah. I mean, I do like the upper deck stuff too, and the artwork that they're using.
yeah.
At least on this run, anyway.
Tops almost owns all the IPs now, don't they? He's like,
Pretty
they
much.
got everything. It's like, oh man, but yeah, no problem. It's not. I just like I like to help cool people out, and like I feel like what else I felt at Heroes Con was last year. It's like a sense of community with everybody there. Was everybody was cool there, but I didn't really see many like get out of my way. I'm looking for comic books, I don't know. It's just a really like good atmosphere is all I can say. Like,
Right.
And like the people are really friendly that work there. Like everybody was very helpful, and I had a good experience with Don Rosa. Go see, everybody knows if you know who Don Rosa is. He was one of the guys that worked on Uncle Scrooge for a long time, and I went to get his autograph. Me and my friend Carolyn, she wanted to get Uncle Scrooge #1 that he worked on signed. She goes, "How much do you charge for signature?" He leaned in and said, "Honey, I don't charge for my signatures. All these other people right here," he said, "they're doing it wrong." And so, like he said, "But if you want to buy a print for $20, I'll be glad to take your money." So he signed the book for free. And we both bought prints because
Yeah.
Don
That's what
Ross,
you do.
he's an OG legend. Yep, he's an OG legend. Jim wrote the same way. He was free. Dan Parent. I actually asked Dan Parent if he preferred Betty or Veronica, and he said Veronica. And I said, "I bet the next person you'll say Betty, though." He said, "Nah, you don't know that."
Yeah, I bet.
I like Veronica myself. I like brunettes. So
Sure,
Yeah,
sure. I'm a brunette guy too. The wife does, yeah.
and I think we'll if has anybody got any questions before we do the giveaway for Chris? Just let us know. I'm sure he'll be glad to answer as long as it's not inappropriate. But so far everybody's been cool tonight.
I will
What show?
answer any appropriate questions.
The giveaway. You got it near you?
I was gonna say I'm looking around. I thought I did. I've got so many giveaway piles. I say that because we do basically giveaways every month here. But it's close. I know it's close. It's around one of these piles that I have. I swear. Go on, give me a second. I know it's here. Give me a second. I'm right here.
Yeah.
I am right here, digging through. Might be out on the couch.
Yeah, I agree, Jeff. Don Rhodes is an OG legend. While he's out, I'm going to share something. Tomorrow night, I'm having a movie review of my friends. We're going to have a big panel, like 6 people on the panel. We review movies every Wednesday night, Chris.
Yeah.
And since baseball season just started, I figured we would review this little movie.
Love it.
Major League, starring Tom Berenger, Charlie Sheen, and Corbin Burnson and Wesley Snipes. Also, I have to do a little clickbaity thing on the thumbnail, of course. Is this the greatest sports movie of all time, or is it one of the greatest sports? We'll find out. A lot of people already got mad at me for even questioning that. And before Chris does his giveaway, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm giving these away for my 700 subscriber giveaway. And I might add a couple more books to this. You never know. I'm sure I will. So stay tuned for that. But look here, you got an Alex Believe Daredevil cover with a gorgeous Black Widow. I call her Scarlet Witch. We have an Emma Frost, X-Men Black J. Scott Campbell cover. We got a G.I. Joe Mark Spears cover, a Mark Brooks Spawn cover, and I think Marvel Comics presents #7. So, and I'll add some more stuff to it if I feel like it. I'm sure I'll feel like it.
Hell yeah. Anything cool with me, that's good stuff. Like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go.
Cool Runs is good too. Here we go.
So for everybody that's in the giveaway tonight, it's basically doing some Daredevil, right? The Daredevil 1 came out, so I got a Moco for you guys.
Ooh, look at that one.
Got another variant for you there. And then, of course, we're sticking with a Daredevil theme. So this was the Daredevil Woman Without Fear. This is the Knock cover. And then I figured we're going with Knock. So I got the signed Knock Eternals Cersei headshot.
Nice cover.
So with that, I think I have another, which I'm going to go ahead and throw in now since I'm sitting here looking around, which was another one of the, I think this was a Jackson size, the
oh yeah, the Marvel
Muse. Yeah, Muse. So I'll throw that one in too. There's 5 books there for a giveeway.
All right,
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Let's see here. Got it up. Everybody is everybody entered the hashtag? I hope. We got
everybody get in now if you hadn't.
We got 6 entries, and we got how many people got watching? We got 8 people watching. So maybe you entered it and it didn't click in. I'm not going to enter it because I'm on the panel, and that would be unethical. So Shags Comics, hashtag Shags Comics. We got 6 people in. I'll give you a few more minutes.
But yeah, good old Heroes Con, man. It's fun.
I can't wait. And you know, it's not that far away. It's not that really. It's, if you think about it, we've got like 2 months.
Yeah, it's like 2 months basically. And how far are you away? I know you're in Kentucky. How long of a drive, or how is that?
Maybe 6 hours. But
6 hours drive.
Last year was even more brutal. I think it was 8 hours because we have to go up 40 through the mountain there in Asheville. And of course, you know, before Heroes Con last year,
Helene,
flash flooding, you know, that happened.
Yeah.
So there was a mudslide, and we had to go over the mountain like another way on a 2-lane road. Yeah, I'm excited.
An hour plus.
Yeah, it was about an hour. We still got 6 in here, so I'm just gonna wait a few more. I was gonna say though, like it was. I don't know. It was kind of grueling because we went up a road and it was already blocked off. They'd had flash flooding the week before again, and but we got through it. And I got my friend Jeff's going this year. He's flying from California. He's going to fly to Kentucky, and my friend Aaron's coming from Washington State. He's flying to Kentucky. They're going to fly down to Kentucky, and they're going to go with me because I need help to go with. My mom is too old to be going. She don't need to be going. She went last year, didn't really enjoy it. So, but I'm disabled, so I have to have the wheelchair. And I got those guys. And I told them, I hyped up Heroes Con so much. They're like, I want to go now. But hey, while we're waiting on some more entries here, we'll wait just a few more minutes. Is there any book in particular you're looking for? Because personally, I'm looking for Luke Cage, Hero for Hire #1 this year.
So we're going, yeah. So I've been, like I said, man, I've been saving and planning. I'm trying to. I want that X-Men 1. It's basically going to be, you know, an entry level. I've been just trying to pick off my list. I only got about 36 more on my 1 to basically. I say 1 to 300, but I basically got 1 to 400 of the X-Men. So minus like 35 copies, and that being #1. So I've been trying. I know that Heroes is coming. I know that I've been trying to be good about things, right? Because like I said, I love my comic books too and things. So I've been trying not to spend that much money, trying to keep my head down. And X-Men #1 is probably what I'll be focusing on. So we'll see.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I hope you get it.
We'll see what happens here. I have a buddy of mine that he has one now that's slabbed at a 0.5, and I mean the color looks good on the front and everything, and it looks like a nice cover. But there's like on the notes and everything for the CGC, there's really no room for improvement. You know what I mean? Like it's just a beat up old book, and that's fine. But it depends. Like, I mean, you've been saving in there. You know what I mean? So what do you want? You want to save a little bit more for something just a little bit better? You know what I mean? Like what are you going to be getting? So that's
I got a pretty good, like I got enough saved up, especially I know I got it for the hotel room. I already got that taken care of. So
yep.
I got a couple more months to go of saving. So it's not, if you do have one, yeah, let me know. I'm on Instagram, Heroes for Hire. It's Heroes _ 4_ well, Shag knows. Shag knows my.
Yeah. You see it. He's tagged on plenty of our stuff. You're tagged. If anybody wants to see, come on over to our post. Follow the man.
And anybody's got a Marvel Premiere 15, because my channel is called Heroes for Hire Comic Club. And I feel it's only right that I have the first appearance of both of those characters. So we'll see how it goes.
Nice.
Maybe if I was to get both, I'm going to get both,
Sure.
Oh, you
Low grade better than no grade, baby.
He wants to get a Daredevil 158 for
Jansen Sig.
Yeah. Actually, I want him to sign a couple of things too, like my G.I. Joe 21. All right. Well, you know what? I guess we're just going to pull. There's 6 people in it.
Do it.
I guess the other 2 people don't want. Let's just do it.
Run it.
And the winner is Jeff.
Hey, Jeff 2475. Just like I said, reach out to me if you haven't already on Instagram. Follow me, DM me your address.
And I have his Instagram pinned in the chat here. So there it is. If you don't have it, but I know him. He's my good friend. So I'll if he doesn't, I think he might already follow you anyway.
Sure.
So there you go. Congrats, Jeff. Now everybody's gonna say it's rigged because my buddy won it, but
that's good. I like it that your buddies win it, and I have plenty of buddies that win plenty of stuff. So I'm glad it's your buddy that wins it. That's good.
And so like tomorrow we're gonna be doing this next week. I just want to promote a couple things.
Yes, that's awesome.
The Comic Lounge will be tomorrow night, and that's when we're going to be giving it away. This at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we do a thing called Comic Classified. So if anybody wants to show up in the chat, and you can send me some messages on Instagram. If you got anything you want to sell or trade, show it to me, and I'll show it. It's kind of like this old country thing we should do around here on the radio. They call it Tradio.
Yeah, Tradio. Yeah.
So I kind of like my version of Tradio.
Good old Tradio. Swap shop.
And then Sunday, I have the new Comic Book Day preview show, the Sunday Super Show Extravaganza. We're going to talk about G.I. Joe issue 21 coming out, and it will be the first appearance of G.I. Joe in Storm Shadow in the Energon universe. And it looks like Scarlet may be in it as well, so that's exciting. And then next Wednesday, we're going to be reviewing the 1990 Captain America movie, and we asked the question, is this the worst Marvel movie ever made?
It possibly could be.
And then the end of the month for my movie review, we're going to have a big blowout. We're reviewing Rocky 1 through 5, and we'll decide once and for all which is the best Rocky movie. So, I could have been, Adrian, we made it.
You made it. That's awesome. I love some Major League too, man. That's like one of my favorite. Is it the best sports movie? It's up there. It's up there as far as comedy sports movies.
Yeah.
Because there's differences between comedy and like real life, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
Like the comedy sports movie, bro, that's definitely a top 3-5 for me, dude. I love it.
There are two of the best comedy, like sports movies. Like we're sticking. I'm kind of just naming baseball movies here, but as the series goes, The Natural with Robert Redford was always a favorite of mine.
Cup.
So anyway, and Tin Cup was actually, you remember that one? Oh, yeah, that was a good one. Rudy was pretty good, although
Rudy, that was a real one, right?
Yeah. But it's kind of like, it's like when you grow up, you find out about blood sport, and you're like, wait, you mean Frank Dukes was faking all that? Dang.
Yeah. Right.
All right, but I'd like to thank you for being here, Chris. Everybody,
man, great time.
Please give him a follow on Instagram if you're not following this guy. He's really cool. And if you're at Heroes Con, drop by and say hello to him. If you see me going around on my wheelchair, say hello to me. But like Uncle Stan used to always say, until next time, true believers, Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snitchy boochies, have